The organizational meeting for Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. At this point, could we have roll call, please?
Mrs. Frola.
Yes.
Ms. Terry.
Yes.
Mr. Hofer. Here. Mr. Parker.
Yes.
Pledge of allegiance, please. At this point, it is recommended that the board formally accept the resignation of board member Ken Ray.
So moved. Second.
Do we have a second?
Yeah, Barbara did.
It's been moved and seconded that the motion be voted upon.
Mr. Parker.
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Ms. Terry.
Yes.
Mrs. Frola.
Yes. The motion has passed. A resolution to appoint a board member. It is recommended that the board appoint, Mr. Hofer, do you want to give the? Appoint Donnie Furlong to fill the vacant Board of Education seat effective December 19th, 2023, and for the remainder of the term, which will expire on December 31st, 2025.
I will make a motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the motion be approved. Mr. Adams?
Mrs. Frola.
Yes.
Ms. Terry.
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Mr. Parker.
Yes.
Mr. Furlong.
Yes.
Okay, the motion is passed. Number 6, oath of office for newly elected, re-elected, and elected and appointed board members. We have a variety of.
Can we do it in front of the lady?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
They'll stand up here. I'll
If
stand
anybody
over
wants to
here.
take pictures of
We
this until when
choose
he's
to
done
do
oathing
this even though we want it to be in public and for all to view, so we're.
If you would raise your right hand, and at the end of what I say, the response is, I do. Do you, Mr. Furlong, Mr. Mason, Mr. Hofer, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge your duties as a member of the Board of Education at Springfield Local Schools, Summit County, to the best of your ability, and in accordance with the laws now in effect and hereafter to be enacted, during your continuance in said office and until your successor is elected and qualified. I do. Congratulations. Awesome.
Can we get a picture of all the board members up there?
So like the golden globes.
Thank you.
One, two, three.
It'll go over here my way. Awesomeness. All right, I'm sorry.
Mindy, please come on, Mrs. Frola, one more.
Not on the agenda.
Thank you.
Okay,
There's proof we were here.
so let's give our new board members and our old board members one more round of applause. Thank
No, that was just me.
Got a good group here.
Mary said,
Okay, all right, number 7,
Before we start,
okay.
I called this young man his first name.
Mr.
Parker.
You did what?
I called Parker Mr. Parker.
Instead of Mr. Mason.
I know.
I was gonna say.
And then I corrected it, and he's
She
like, that's
goes,
what
do
she.
you really want to call him this question mark? And I went, yeah. And then Mary come over and went, his last name.
That's the mistake of the year. Mr.
That's right.
That was it, no more mistakes.
No more mistakes. All right.
I was gonna make fun of you too.
Can we go ahead
Yes.
then?
Parker's a
Even
good
though
Are we good?
Mr.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Parker isn't. All right, then number 7, election of president. Nominations will be accepted for president of the board for 2024.
I'll nominate Cynthia for president.
I second that.
Is there any more nominations? All right. Then we will vote on Cynthia for president.
Let me get this. It's a little. Mrs. Frola.
Yes.
Miss Terry.
Yes.
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Mr. Mason.
Yes.
Mr. Furlong.
Yes.
Motion passed, and thank you for your confidence. Thank you for, now the election of vice president. Nominations will be accepted for vice president of the board for 2024. Nominations?
Nominate Miranda Terry.
I'll
Pardon?
second that.
Miranda Terry.
Say it out loud.
I did. Miranda Terry.
Well, I just
Miranda
said-
Terry.
Miranda Terry. Are there any other nominations? If there are other nominations, then we will vote for Miranda Terry to be vice president of the board.
Miss Terry.
Yes.
Mr. Mason.
Yes.
Mrs. Frola.
Yes?
Mr. Hofer.
Yes.
Mr. Furlong.
Yes.
Motion passed. Now she's got to come sit by me.
Is it next to Kristen?
Only the principal's office. Parker, can you grab her name tag?
Congratulations.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, moving on to the appointment of board members. Board member committees, I'm sorry, I'm still appointing board members.
Yeah, you're fine, yeah, Jess, it seems like that's what we've been doing.
We are, do you want to say it, or you want me to?
These are all the different committees that are from OSBA that are from the board. We only appoint if needed. We are going to do 2 appointments. That's going to be the Portage Lakes CC Board of Education. So being that the Board of Lakes, that we have to have 2 members that are on their board. Larry Petrie was the one, but since he's retired, we have to fill that position. We will also fill the legislative liaison position, and that position is the person who goes down to Columbus and teaches us all about all the different laws that the legislative is putting on public schools right now.
Okay, at this time, let's start with the Portage Lakes Board of Education. We need 1 person to fill that.
I would nominate Donnie Furlong for that.
Okay, Donnie Furlong is nominated for that, and for the legislative liaison, may I nominate you?
Thank you.
Okay, so at this time, Donnie Furlong would fill the position at the second position at the Board of, Portage Lakes Board of Education, and Dave Hofer would continue and fill for this year the legislative liaison. Motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Those two individuals would fill those two positions. Mr. Adams?
Mrs. Frola?
Yes?
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Ms. Terry?
Okay, motion is passed. Okay, it is time to set the date, time, and place of the meetings for next year, but we have one conversation to look at one of the meetings. Do you want to take that?
Sure. So on the request of, to move the March 19th meeting to March 12th, we would need to just have a discussion on that. Is there any discussion?
Let's get it on the floor first.
Okay, get it on the floor first.
Make a motion.
I second that.
Okay, now the discussion. Thank you. I didn't read my Robert's rules today. Any discussion on moving the date to March 12th?
Why are we moving it?
Because,
Me. It's a request from me. It fits my time better. It allows me to be here.
Is that March 12th? you
yes,
say?
Yes.
I don't see a problem with that.
No issue.
This doesn't happen, but maybe once every other year, not even that.
So
I
that's
did this one other time
It's the second Tuesday, correct?
it's the
Correct.
second Tuesday.
versus the third Tuesday.
And just for the information of those watching, the reason we're being so precise with the dates is once the dates are set, those are the official meeting dates per Ohio Revised Code. And if we were to later change a date, say later we wanted to say, well, we're going to do the 12th instead of the 19th, then that automatically makes it a special meeting. So it is a different format. So we thought we would make it as careful and precise as we could tonight. Okay? Do we need to?
While we are in motions over the vote.
Mr. Adams?
Mrs. Frola?
Yes?
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Motion passed. Number 11, yearly procedures. The following yearly procedures are recommended for adoption by the Board of Education. That the treasurer be authorized to pay all bills as presented, providing there are sufficient funds and purchase orders have been properly issued. A monthly report will be presented to the Board of Education. B, that the superintendent be named as the purchasing agent. C, that the superintendent be authorized to apply for and serve as coordinator of the federal and state programs as deemed necessary during the calendar year 2024. It is understood that a staff member coordinates the programs and reports to the superintendent. D, that the treasurer be authorized to request advance tax money from the county auditor as funds are available and payable to the school board. Next, that the treasurer be authorized to invest in active funds with interest payable each month. F, that the board president, superintendent, treasurer, and business manager be bonded in the amount of $50,000 for faithful performance bonds. That is according to 3 Ohio Revised Codes. I won't read them all, but they're. And G, that the treasurer or designee be approved to do banking transactions. And H, that the superintendent be authorized to approve professional meeting attendance and expense for the district personnel as deemed appropriate during 2024. L, that the superintendent be authorized to approve unpaid leave requests for the district personnel as deemed appropriate during 2024. Next, that the treasurer be authorized to make appropriations and amend the certificate of estimated resources as necessary throughout the year. That the rate of pay previously approved by board members, which is the maximum per Ohio Revised Code, continue at the rate during 2024. L, that the superintendent be authorized to serve as the district representative to acquire federal surplus property from the Ohio State Agency for Surplus Property. M, that the treasurer be authorized to dispense with the reading of the minutes at the board meetings, provided the minutes are presented to the board in advance of those board meetings. And N, that the board establish a records commission as approved by law, made up of the board president, the superintendent, and the treasurer. And lastly, that the treasurer be designated as the public records designee for all elected officials.
Motion?
Second.
And these are just things that you have to do every year from ORC. So it's just giving the people the responsibilities that they need to do.
It's been moved and second that we follow the yearly procedures as described. Mr. Adams?
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes?
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Mrs. Frola?
Yes. Motion passed. The next item is the Board Service Fund. Mrs. Monachino, would you explain that?
So what this is that according to ORC, you have to have money put in for the board service fund, and it is used for the payment of the board members and for any other events that they deem needed for it.
And we never, ever have spent $7,500, and that number has been set for 15 years that I've been here, 14 years, so we're very cautious in what we spend from the board.
Good.
So moved.
Second?
It's been moved and second that the Board Service Fund be established.
Mrs. Frola?
Yes.
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes?
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Ms. Terry?
The Board Service Fund motion is approved. Our next item is adjournment. It's recommended that the meeting be, an organizational meeting be adjourned at this time.
So moved.
Second?
It's moved in second that we adjourn the organizational meeting.
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Mrs. Frola?
Yes. Organizational meeting is adjourned. Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere, board meeting.
Part 2 is about to begin.
All right. Let's move to the regular meeting. I'd like to call to order the Board of Education meeting for Tuesday, January 9th, 2024.
Mrs. Frola?
Yes?
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Here?
Want to do the pledge again?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I don't want Robert to upset me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I assume number 4 is yours.
Yes, it is. So, January is deemed the Ohio School Board Recognition Month. You can see our little poster over there. It's launching school board, launching our next generation. Oh, and it's here too. Look at that. Imagine that. So I could say is, you know what? we are very blessed here in Springfield to have an amazing board. I am sure Parker and Donnie, you're going to just continue on with it. When I go to different meetings and different places and I hear some horror stories of their board meetings and board members, and I just sit back and smile and say, gosh, I am really blessed to have these 5 people working with us. So this is just a little,
Thank you.
thank you, check to make sure you got the right names. Recognition, so I'm just thanking
I was
you
going to say it's Miss
for your service. I know at times, and I think Donnie and Parker, you're gonna learn that sometimes it's a thankless job, but it is a job that is much needed, and we do appreciate you giving your time and effort for it. So, thank you very much. And again, I know we've done it once or twice or 3 times, but can we please give our board one more round of applause for keeping Springfield for launching us into the next generation.
I'm not going to correct you, but I'm going to add, in my 2 years, I've never felt it was a thankless job.
Good.
I've felt it's been productive, and it's been I love being around the teachers and kids again.
Awesome. That's.
So, board informal. Parker?
You get to start.
Start with me? Well, just 2 things. Mostly that I want to say thank you to, most importantly, the voters, but to my friends, my family, mentors, colleagues, for pushing me to do something like this and be a part of something so wonderful, and to hopefully bring success back to our community and to our school and our students as well. And secondly, if I could ask you, just be patient. I'm human. I'll make mistakes at times, but I think you all realize that when we can all work together, and I'm patient, and I'm asking for your prayers as we continue on for the next 4 years. Thank you.
You going in the room?
Okay.
No, just very excited to be a part of this. It's a great community that I'm proud of, so excited to be here.
You want the update from Columbus to now, or no? You tell me.
Is it good news or bad news?
It's not bad.
That means it's not good either.
There was some hesitation.
Columbus is Columbus. Just 2 things, basically. Senate Bill 91 was passed, signed with the governor's blessing, that makes changes to laws regarding fraud, waste, and abuse of public funds. This bill is requiring all state officials and employees, as well as certain public office holders, to report alleged fraud, theft, or misappropriation of public money to the Inspector General. This includes mandating training to school board treasurers and superintendents, so that passed. There's other issues going on at the state. I'm not going to delve into that. There is one that's of interest. Senate Bill 208 from Christine Rogener out of Hudson requires city exempted village local school districts to include in its open enrollment policy an exception for military children. So as they move about the country, their families, they support our freedoms. It's an interesting call. I also want to say thank you to the voters. I said thank you after the November and the December meeting for confidence for another 4 years. There's a lot of challenges we have in this district. It takes time, as Parker said. It takes more time than I ever thought it would. Patience is a virtue. But I think I can see the light at the end of the tunnel through some of our financial issues. We need the public to trust us again. Whatever mistrust that you had, let go of the things of the past, such as pool. It's gone. It's gone forever. And let's move forward. I was at Tusky Valley yesterday. They had dedicated a new high school, and also OSBA President Sally Green. Their motto, because of what has happened, they lost 6 of their community members in a tragic bus accident back in November. But their motto is stepping forward. And I think that's a good motto for our district as well. I think we need to all step forward. Thank you.
Parker and Donnie, welcome. Congratulations, you get to hang out with us longer.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. Excited to get started, and it's interesting. We have one old face, sorry. It's in me now.
You could say old man.
Okay, but, I mean, we've made changes and we hope that people will, kind of like Parker said, take patience, but at the same time, push forward. What was it?
Step forward.
Step forward. So, we're excited. You're up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to 2024. I'm looking forward to being involved with the community and with the parents and students and hopefully bringing back around some positive results that will, and here's the teacher in me, will translate into increased academic offerings for our kids. And I thank you to the other board members for your trust in me. Thank you. Approval of minutes. It is recommended that the board approve the minutes of the regular meeting of December 19, 2023. Those have been provided as an exhibit to the board members and online.
So moved.
Second then.
It's been moved and second that we approve the board minutes for December 19. Mr. Adams?
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mrs. Frola?
Yes.
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Motion is passed. At this point, if there are any citizens' comments on agenda items, citizens are comments on agenda items are welcome at this time. Are there any? Okay. Next is payment of bills. It is recommended that the board approve payment of bills for the month of December pending audit.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Been moved in second that the December bills be paid pending audit. Mr. Adams?
Mrs. Frola?
Yes.
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Abstain.
Motion
Mr.
passed.
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I didn't mean to cut you out, Donnie.
You good?
I'm not paying attention. Now motion passed. All right, number 10 is, these are personnel items. 10.1, unpaid leave of absence. Approve an intermittent,
No?
oh,
Sorry.
yeah, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Thank you.
You're excited. You got plans?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got supper to finish. Number 9, acceptance of financial reports. I apologize. It is recommended that the board accept the financial reports from the treasurer for December 2023. And those are provided for us in Exhibit 3,
So moved.
4, and 5.
Second?
It's been moved in second that we accept the financial reports.
Mrs. Frola?
Yes.
Ms. Terry?
Yes.
Mr. Hofer?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Abstain.
Mr. Furlong?
Yes.
Motion passed. Now we can do personnel. Yes. It is recommended that the board accept or approve the following items. Approve an intermittent unpaid leave of absence for classified employee Elizabeth Rhine for the 2023 school year. 10.2, accept the resignation of classified employee Alexis Johnson, effective January 5, 2024. 10.3, accept the resignation of classified employee Johanna Wagner, effective January 4th, 2024. Number 10.4, reassign classified employee Robert Horger as a 2-hour lunch monitor at Springfield High School and Junior High per the negotiated agreement pending proper licensure, and that would be for January 8th that he would be employed. And the next one is employ Rose Johnson as a classified substitute per the negotiated agreement pending proper licensure and pre-employment screening effective the first day assigned.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that the personnel items be voted upon.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mrs. Frola.
Yes. Do you want to say anything, or?
You just want to read the policy review? No. Yeah, Mr. Horger,
Okay.
Yeah, the bus driver, huh?
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I just want to say thank you, okay. So Mr. Bob, that's what I know him as, so that's what I was asking. So my daughter came home, and I know a couple other kids from Schropp came home, just heartbroken that he was leaving Schropp. And I was like, what do you mean he's leaving? And because he has made a very big impact on a lot of kids in the Schropp building. Come to find out that he was going to the high school. And I hope that he can make that big of an impact on those kids, because, I mean, I know I can see a couple of heads nodding that, I mean, we had kids in tears about him leaving. So we have a lot of people in the district that are just like that. Kids coming home from school on the last day of school crying because they have summer, but yet they're saying goodbye to great teachers. And I just wanted to let people know that this is one of those great people. I know we have many more, but I could go on with the list, but I just wanted to throw that out there, that I hope that that impact goes on to the junior high and high school, so.
Thank you. Policy review. Board members have received copies of the following.
So whenever we do policy reviews, you have to have 2 readings based on ORC. So this was the first reading. You have received a copy of the policies with a synopsis of what they mean. Hopefully when you're bored over the winter break, you sat down and you read them all. What we will do then next month is we will have the second reading of them, and then that's when we will vote on them. And if there's any changes or anything, that's when we'll discuss it.
And for those who might not have an agenda to consult, the policies include conflict of interest, another policy on notice of meetings, another policy on third grade reading, guarantee, because that had to be revised, then policies on employment of personnel for co-curricular and extracurricular activities, a policy on intra-district open enrollment, policy on immunizations, another on use of medications, and the last one being care of students with active seizure disorders, maybe not the last one.
Last one on that page.
Huh?
Last one on that page.
Last one on that page. Board of Revision, complaints and counter complaints, payroll deductions, another policy on fair labor standards, one on facility security, one on volunteers, another on school calendars, another on school records, another on transportation, and a second transportation by school van. I have to have 2 different bus and van. Public attendance at school events, another on district supportive organizations, another on the equivalent education outside the school and participation in extracurricular for students not enrolled in the district. That would be all the policies.
And for the most of them, they're policies that we already have. Some of the changes that are in there is just simple changes of he to she to there and different for that. There are a couple new ones, the care of students with active seizure disorder. There's a new policy for that because there's a new state ORC that regards to that. Board revision of complaints and counter complaints is a new policy. And I think that was it for the new policies. And the rest are, like I said, are all policies that we've already had.
And most of these are, they're, may I explain? Neola?
Absolutely.
Because some people may not know, why are you changing these? Our district uses a Neola, an organization whose job it is to review the policies, make sure that they are in line with the Ohio Revised Code and with, and so that our school policies reflect what is current, and that's what we have here, particularly the revised ones where they've been updated and they're in line with the law.
And all policies are on our website.
Okay, we don't have to do anything with that. Mr. Adams, Treasurer's Report. I'm just going to turn around.
Well, it's nice to see everybody here supporting our new board members. It's very important. They're taking on a well-deserved job. It's not easy. So like they said, give them a time. They'll get acclimated very quickly, I'm sure. And we're very fortunate. We have probably now in the state of Ohio, we have a wide, we have grandparents, we have young adults, we have a gentleman that's a day older than me, so we won't say how old he is, but you know, he's not that old. We have parents of kids in our school. We have the whole cross, so this is going to help. This will be an effective board. They'll have different views, which is nice. We're going to talk for tonight, the boring stuff, but I think it's important. We're going to talk about revenues because we are now unbelievably halfway home, okay? So last month I focused on expenditures, this side, the opposite side, revenues. We can control expenditures. Revenues is a little more difficult, meaning we get what we get from our taxes. That's real estate. Down here is we get what we get from the state, and unfortunately we don't get enough. Property tax allocations, all other revenue, this is doing a little better because of interest income. As we all know, interest rates have risen, so all my inactive funds that I have, instead of getting 0.5% in interest, Star Ohio is now paying out about 5.5%, which is wonderful. So let's go over some of these numbers because you can see for the first 6 months, we are darn near on every category. Okay, estimate $12,571,000, budget $12,658. We will hit this budget. Property valuations are starting. I anticipate these three numbers to be larger than the original estimate. That law has been going, it's called House Bill 166. It's been back and forth, back and forth. I don't think the House and the Senate can come together in Columbus. So what happens when that occurs? Nothing happens. The law is the law. So unfortunately, I was hoping to see some relief for our senior citizens. That's the key, you know, homestead exemption, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. But every major category, taxes, here's, look at how close that is. This is our foundation, the first 6 months, this is the budget. $8,454,000, $8,445,000. Here's the one I'm happy about. This is what I talked about. Interest is a main component here. We're tracking at 1.9 million, almost 2 million versus a budget of 1.7. Total, 25,275,271 versus a budget of 25,168. So we're beating budget. I expect us, because of property taxes, this bottom line will continue to grow, which is a good thing. It doesn't grow as much. I mean, if we would have received in our foundation what other neighboring districts got this year, meaning we have neighboring districts much smaller than us that received $750,000 increase in their state funding from the state. We got less than 100. Yeah, it's too bad, but that's what it is, which causes us to just continue to strive forward. Buckle up. Everybody hates me when they ask me if they can have any money, and I said, well, is it a want or a need? But I have to admit, our teaching staff and our classified staff has done a remarkable job considering the limitations that are placed on them. They're doing the best they can. I don't believe I've received a request that was unusual. Second thing I want to talk about is on January 29th, which is a Monday night, we're resuming our finance committee, and it's going to be, you know, it can be discouraging in the fact that we've failed 12 levies in a row in this township. 12 levies. We have to change things. We know that. So I'm going to be requesting that the people that come up with some ideas from their friends, their families, their neighbors, and I'm hoping that they bring back some tough questions. I haven't ever been afraid of tough questions, and we need tough questions because something has to change, right? 12 defeats in a row. We can't continue to do what we're doing. So, and I'm not the kind of person that thinks that I know more than anybody else. You know, there's a lot of great ideas that have come across from all people. Employees, residents, and that's what we need. We need to come together as a team and the residents, and we have to have some hard discussions. That's the key. That's the key. We don't get nothing done if everybody just bobs their head. I can take tough questions. So that's coming up on the 29th, 5:30. Hope to see as many of you here. I keep it short. It's an hour. You know, I get you in and out, but we have to do something. So, but again, revenues are tracking good, expenditures are tracking good as versus budget, which is good. No surprises, and that's the key for my life, is not to have any major surprises. Thanks again for everybody that came in. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Adams. Central office report?
I'd like to start off this evening by talking about winter weather, some of the protocols that we have and notifications that we do when there may be a change in the school schedule because of that. We're always monitoring weather conditions, looking into the next day, knowing what we need to be prepared for. If winter weather does occur, we'll make notifications as soon as possible. If it could be for a temperature or significant related event, we'll call as early as the night before when possible. Those are not frequent. Most of the time we're needing to make the call the morning of, so which means early mornings we get up, drive the roads, start to communicate between ourselves and other districts, watching weather reports, what's incoming, the radar, all that stuff, getting our crews out, seeing how well they're able to fight whatever winter weather we're predicting. But we ultimately try and make that call by about 5:45 in the morning so that we can send notifications out via text message, our all-call system, website, social media, as well as the old tried and true news stations, the tickers at the bottom. We still get those out there, although it's It's nothing like it used to be, sitting there waiting for your school to come across the bottom there. You usually already know by a text message or social media post or something there, so that excitement is gone now, but we'll get that word out there. The disclaimer I'll add to that, while we try and make that call by 5:45, there are instances where weather's rolling in or conditions are changing very quickly where we may be pushing just past that 6 o'clock mark. We really try not to do that, but there are occasions when that happens that we just can't determine what's going to happen. We've got to see what's coming. I know this morning, looking at we were up looking at the radar, and it looked like a kaleidoscope coming at us. There was pinks and greens and purples and everything flying our way. So we were, even though there was nothing serious this morning, we were keeping an eye on that and just kind of debating what was actually going to happen by 6:15, 6:30 when the buses start to roll. So thank you to our maintenance staff, Mike Smith, Ron Kirby, and Andy Morgan, that are out there, sometimes at 2 o'clock in the morning pushing snow and getting things clear for us in our local Lakemore and Springfield road departments and county road departments that are keeping the roadways clear for the buses and staff and students to travel on. But it's a big team effort every morning to that winter weather rolls in to get that done. And like I said, we will get that notifications out there as many ways as possible. So when that winter weather's coming through, stay tuned, and we'll let you know if there's any changes to schedules.
And I'm going to add something to that. If forever there's a case where, it's getting dicey out there, maybe, we've already started school. If at any time that you as a parent feel it's unsafe for your child, for you to drive there, just call us and let us know, and it'll be an excused absence. So, you know best for your kids and what's to go for it. So, and to add, with what Dustin said, when there's going to be a snow day, there's no sleeping. The superintendents in all the different areas, we start texting probably around 3:30 in the morning. What do you think? Well, what do you think? What do you think? What are you going to do? And, because nobody wants to be that first person to call off. Because, that's all you got to do is just call off that first time, and then all of a sudden there's no snow. What was it? You want to be the first person? Okay, I will call you next time, and you can be the first person to call off.
I think Kevin's in with you.
Oh, Kevin, okay, you two, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm calling you. So,
I think all of our kids would help too.
okay, all right, okay, I get you. So then if that's the case, I don't want to get yelled at, like, why didn't we have school today? So it is a team effort, so I do want to thank everybody, because it is tense, and whoever thought we were going to be Dick Goddard? It's what we are, yes, I know. So thanks.
I'm going to go ahead and pass my time, other than saying that Mrs. Zigbud and I participate in that by looking at the snow day predictor calculator.
Oh, thank you.
And we're texting each other back and forth the entire time what it's saying. It's
Yes.
about this percentage and everything.
Sorry, guys, I've already predicted not for tomorrow, so it's not looking good. But what we do have coming up as we enter the new year, we have preschool and kindergarten registration starting, so believe it or not, it is time to start thinking about when your child's birthday is, and if it falls before August 1st, and they are about to turn 3 or 5, they are eligible for preschool and kindergarten. Spring Hill is already planning their roundup that they'll do in April, and preschool is already planning their screening days that will start occurring once a month in March, April, and May. So I encourage you to let your neighbors, your friends, if you know that they have little kids, ask them how old they are and tell them about Springfield schools so that they get enrolled early so we can make the best decisions for staff and just support things that we do for the beginning of school. So they have to be 3 by August 1st and 5 for preschool and 5 by August 1st for kindergarten.
Thank you. For me, I just want to welcome everybody back. I hope everybody had a relaxing winter break. From what I'm gathering from people that I'm talking to, it seemed like everybody was sick with sinus headaches or whatever, but then they gave them excuses to just sit on the couch and veg. So welcome back. We will be starting third quarter, believe it or not, next week. So the school year is flying by, and I just want to thank all our teachers and staff for everything that they're doing for our kids. And I am looking forward to the remainder of the 23-24 school year. Thank you.
Anything else?
I think we're good.
Okay, items worthy of your note, January 11th, end of the second quarter, first semester. I can't believe that. January 12th, Teachers' Record Day, there is no school that day. January 15th, Martin Luther King Day, no school that day. February 15th, Schropp Intermediate Conferences are from 3:30 to 7:30 p.m. February 19th, President's Day, and there is no school that day. February 20th, next regular Board of Education meeting at 6 p.m. here in this room. February 29th, Springfield High School and Junior High conferences are from 3 to 7.
And I just want to add, February 16th is also a no-school day.
February 15th. 16.
Yes.
We don't have it.
Yes.
February 16.
Snow
We can get it on there.
Huh?
Okay.
That's, then you know that's when it's going to snow really hard where there's no school.
Nah, it won't snow. The weather forecasts are liars.
Oh, yeah.
At this time, we welcome any citizens' comments on any items. Are there any citizens who? No?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
I do. Just in connection with January 15th, Martin Luther King Day, I hope this is the right forum, arena, or time. If not, I apologize. But I would like to announce that there's a free roller skating day that morning from 10 a.m. to noon at the Springfield Lake Roller Rink in Lakemore. Admission is free for the 2-hour skate. You'll just have to pay for skates or any food items you would like to buy. But admission is free in commemoration of Martin Luther King Day.
Awesome.
Say that date again.
What time?
Richard?
10 to noon, 10 a.m. to noon at Springfield Lake Roller Rink in Lakemore.
And February 15th,
January 15th, Martin Luther King Day.
or January.
Yes, I'm sorry,
Excuse
yes.
me. No, I probably screwed it up, but you're
That was
used to
not the
me.
right time or place to announce that, I'm sorry.
No, that was perfect. Thank you. That's
Yeah,
exactly
very
what we want.
nice. It's a nice event. Any other citizens' comments? All right, at this time, it is recommended that the board go into executive session at this time for preparing for, conducting, or reviewing negotiations or bargaining sessions with employees. And I would add that there will be no action on our return. This is an informational matter. So we'll move to executive session now.
What we have to second in.
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, it's been moved and second that we go to executive session. Mr. Adams?
Mrs. Frola,
Yes?
Ms. Terry,
Yes.
Mr. Hofer,
Yes.
Mr. Furlong,
Yes.
Mr. Mason.
Yes.
You guys,
Okay, motion passed.
yeah, we're coming over here.